Hello everyone and welcome back to the city on Elba. We're having quite a few notifications, so I think it is time that we're dealing with some stuff. For example, our UK parish church, our cemetery, is definitely exhausted. We could add the additional expansions on either side, and that's exactly what we're actually gonna do. So this will drastically increase the processing speed, but in terms of vehicles, we're gonna be a little bit short overall. So I think it is time to build one of our extensions, well, not extensions, one of our additional buildings, and that would be the we still need to unlock it. That would be the crematorium. So let's go ahead and unlock this and see where we can place it. So there's a French one, which in terms of color actually works quite nicely and is a much better size than the other one. And I think actually placing it close to the cemetery kind of makes sense. Let's see, it does have 5 more vehicles, and this is still kind of the center of our city. Alternatively, we could actually place it somewhere over here, closer to our fire department, to make sort of the trips over here a little bit shorter. But yeah, actually, why not? Let's go ahead and place it too close to our fire department. So I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna, as usual, pre-grade our area, just so we don't have to deal with it anymore. Pre-grading a little bit more than we need to, but that is fine. And then we're gonna make sure that we have sort of the appropriate space for it. Meaning we should do a perpendicular parking alley, 2-lane divided. If we were to do this, wow, now that would be quite a lot of parking. So instead, we're also gonna unlock the next thing, because I want to add a little bit more parking to the crematorium. So let's go back into our unlocking in the road area and actually finally unlock the parking areas. Which, excellent. Now we can place some additional parking. A small single parking lot. I think that will be plenty for our purposes. Don't quite know if I like it on this side of the... Actually, it does make kind of sense. And then we're gonna go into our crematorium area and actually place it down as well. But again, I want to make it a bit more of a special place. So we're gonna go ahead, put in a small alleyway to connect that in. And then we're gonna grade a little bit more. Ooh, wrong brush. There we go. Just carve out a bit more from the mountain. Ooh, didn't mean to do that either. Maybe not the greatest day for me to pick the right tool. Anyways, so here we go. Got a little bit more area here in the back, and that will fit in relatively nicely, I thought. But that part of the street is actually going up, so let me go ahead and get rid of it. So again, we can do a little bit more pre-grading and then put it back in here. Now, in order to make this a little bit of a nicer space, we're gonna... don't know why the surface goes all the way in the back. Alright, here we go. And to make this a bit more of a special place, we're gonna do a little bit of landscaping. So it won't take long, but I will be right back. All right, and with that, we're gonna already leave it. Good. So, cemetery needs definitely upgraded. Let's have a quick look at our hospital. Enough storage, enough space for patients. And efficiency is pretty high, but there's still quite a bit of need. But I think overall that will actually just die down as they are picking up the patients. So let's not overreact, I'm hoping. And then take it from there. It did cost us quite a bit of money, but that's not too much of a problem. The main part of this episode, what we really want to focus on, is actually reducing traffic. And one way to reduce traffic is actually put in public transportation. So that's, well, exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna start by putting in a bus depot as well as a taxi depot. Now the regular taxi depot is actually quite big. What is the difference? 25 vehicles compared to 8. Look at how many taxis are actually driving around, so that is quite a bit. So we're still gonna start with the buses. So the bus depot, I think, would be in a perfect spot in our new industrial area that we have created. And let's have a quick look at the, nope, not here, at the contours, at the terrain over here. So I think if we mellow this part out a little bit more, we should be able to place our bus depot on this side a little bit more. And then I'm also going to smooth out the edges. Again, trying to pre-grade whenever we can, because it will make our life in the long run just a lot easier. And it is, you know, what is usually done. All right, here we go. Bus depot is in. We could make it electric. Don't think we need to do this right now. And overall, we're just gonna leave it as is. So let's talk about a bus station. We should have a proper bus station for all of our needs, and where better to put it than right next to our harbor. But let's first have a look. Extra pier, we don't need that. Transit terminal could actually be nice. So let's go ahead. It says it does need a taxi depot. So I guess we're gonna put down a taxi depot as well. So let's go in here. Taxi depot. We do actually have enough area here, so we could place the big one down. So again, future-proofing a little bit. I think that makes sense. So let's go ahead, mellow this out a little bit more. And yes, we're carving into the hill quite a bit. Covering it up a little bit more as well. And now we can place the taxi depot over here as well. We're immediately going to put a dispatch center in. So we don't need to put in taxi stops throughout the city. And with all of these things in place, we can actually put in our transit terminal right here. 5 bus platforms and taxi traffic. Perfect. Exactly what I am hoping for. So this way we have our transit hub right here, right where we would want it. All right, that did cost us a ton of money. So we need to make sure we're actually, that's actually coming back. All right, so not too bad. Now, bus stops. We're going to keep them within the city as regular bus stops. And we're actually starting up here close to our cemetery. I'm gonna put a bus stop right there on the right-hand side. As the bus kind of comes up here, it can drop off people who want to go and visit the cemetery. And I'm gonna place one on either side. Maybe a little bit further back, actually. No, we could actually place it over here. Let's place it over here. All right. As the bus comes in, goes into this roundabout, it will go down sort of our central lane. Every couple of blocks, we want one of the bus stops. So, and I think it kind of makes sense. So this will be quite a busy area, or quite an interesting area to put one in. So we're gonna put one over here on each side, which I guess it's not that far to walk, to be honest. But let's make it a bit easier for our citizens and place two more over this way. Bus comes in here, and I do think it would, we kind of wanted actually to circle around our central area back here. But let's go ahead and actually plan first along this way. No, let's go this way. Okay, close to our pedestrian facility, but still next to our shops, we will have bus stops here. We're going to place one bus stop. Actually, we could just place it on the other side of... No, you know what? People can walk from here to here. It's not that far. I'm not too worried about it. The bus can actually take a left over here, get back on the road here, and then go down this way. Gonna make sure we have a bus stop over here in this corner that is also right next to our elementary school, which will definitely be beneficial. And then we're just gonna speed down this route and going to stop, create one additional stop in our low income or low rent housing area. And let's see, they can actually walk over here, cross here. So we could put our bus stop just over there and create a little roundabout area for the bus to turn around, which might actually be quite beneficial. Alternatively, we could, instead of having the bus turn around here, have the bus go over here. Let's try this out. Have a bus stop on this side, just at the corner to our vineyard. Continue through, put another bus stop at the end of our pedestrian facility. And if the bus would go around here, swing back over, come down this way, it would actually just stop on the right hand side, and all these people would have a hard time really getting to where they want to go. So instead, we're just going to do what we did over here and place bus stops on both sides. So we can see how we're going to circulate around this. Bus then comes down here ultimately. We're going to add one more bus stop part on both sides here. Goes in here, stops at this facility, and then swings around back up this way. We're actually just gonna place the bus stop on the back here. No, let's place it right in front of some of our commercial areas that we have put down. All right, now let's see how we're going to connect this all up. Alright, with this done, we just need to name them. Bus line 1 is the one that is circular, counterclockwise, and then we have circular clockwise. Alright, with these two being done, we're already in pretty good shape. But we want to make sure we have a route that goes from our dock through our city, past our low I think actually for both roads, it is actually still pretty far away from the low rent residential area. So what I am going to do, just to help connect them up, is place bus stops over here as well, and make sure our bus routes will also stop at these. Very close to our low rent housing, and they will definitely benefit from that. All right, we want to make sure though that we have bus routes towards our industrial areas, and we're not going into most of them. But people will be able to take the bus and then walk the rest of the way. So I think overall that will be quite beneficial. So on this one, on the other hand, I think it is worthwhile going into it because it's a relatively long stretched area that we can just service better this way. We're also going to place bus stops in this part of our industry area, actually relatively towards the front, and they can walk the rest. And we're already planning in... No, we're not planning in the bus stops over there. All right. Let's see. Now, this would only serve one way if we do this. So let's just go ahead and place it in the other way as well, other direction as well. And then starting from our transit hub. Oh, actually it doesn't make sense to have a different route over here. Well, it could benefit somewhat. What's wrong with you? Why do you have a trash problem? Sorry about that. Let's have a quick look. You're fine. You're fine. All right. We need to, I think, increase our finances for our garbage system. Let's go to 60%. That should kind of cover it. All right. As I was gonna say, the majority of this route is actually straightforward. And while there is technically another loop back here, just that little back area right there, we don't need to set up another bus stop overall. Now there is actually quite a big crash, which makes me think it is probably also time with our taxi depot and our bus depot to put in our road maintenance depot. So we don't have the money for that, but soon I think we will. And again, somewhere along the lines of our new industrial area, and I am going to remove this part right here, which should give us enough space in this corner to actually place down our road maintenance depot as soon as we get a little bit more money. All right, still earning 5 grand an hour basically, so not too bad. We should deal a little bit with the traffic right now. So let's go ahead and remove some of the road crossings right here. Although it is a light. So this would actually be fine if it isn't a light. I want to keep that. Oh, look, it's not even connected. How did that happen? I swear you guys probably saw it. And I just never noticed. Alright, that should speed up some things. The first bus has taken that route. Let's remove some of the crossings over here. Actually, we should put that one back in. Alright, overall, I think that will do. That should ultimately help traffic actually quite a bit. Let's have a look around where else. There's still a garbage issue. Not entirely sure why. But overall, I think we have dealt with the majority of warning signs that we have been seeing. So with that, public transport, well, local public transport is kind of sorted out. And we ultimately need to see what else we're going to unlock over here. Train probably doesn't make much sense. We could consider a tram. Subway, I don't think so. I do want to put in an airport because I think that would be nice. And right here, this area right here, once it's flattened out, I think is actually ideal for an airport. But for that to make sense, we will need to expand over here in this area. But even before we do that, I think it is time for us to move a little bit further up the hill and kind of just start building up the mountain on this side. Because there's a ton of areas, and having looked at the rough layout on Elba, there is a village somewhere up here, although I cannot tell you anymore where it is. However, I think right here, if we flatten this out a little bit, just maybe along this line right there, and then cutting through it, that will actually create a decent amount of space for us to build towards. Nonetheless, I ultimately think that might be something more for a future episode. Another thing that our citizens are likely high crime risk. 6 out of 6 cars patrolling, apparently not enough. Office extension, which does nothing. Okay. Or we can add more police cars. So let's add the garage extension to our police center just to help a few more patrolling cars. All right. Back to what I was actually saying. I think in the next episode we really need to focus on our schooling system, because for now we don't have a high school. And I think it would be quite important to add a high school to our city. And the Mediterranean one kind of sounds perfect for this, although we do need to find a good space, which could just be over this way. So this way we would have one elementary school, which is totally overloaded. Makes me think high school and elementary school over here. So people from there can actually travel to the high school, get a little bit more traffic also into this area, a little bit more commerce, which I think will be quite useful for our citizens. Well, if it was a real life city, but we can't assume that. So that is kind of what we're planning to do. So let me, again, as usual, pre-grade, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I did a little bit more than pre-grading. I needed to extend this road over here a little bit if I wanted to put down the high school in this direction, which I think just makes a ton of sense. So it's actually facing down this way, and that should allow us, hopefully, kind of need to remove this again. Now that will be maybe a tricky connection to make. Maybe not. Yeah, here we go. Looks a little bit weird, but overall will do. So what this will allow us to do is, once we place the high school in here, let me find the high school again, right there. So this will fit in perfectly right now, and then we can actually put in an elementary school, and we might just do the Mediterranean one over here as well. We're gonna face that basically in the opposite direction, or have the elementary school face towards the back entrance of the high school. I think this way we can create a little school campus ultimately that you know, not only provides in a sense security for the kids, but also makes it a bit easier for parents that have kids on both levels or in both levels to just drop them off and you know, just before they go to work, for example, without having to go to multiple drop-off spots and so on and so on. All right, so we're gonna put in the road again over here. There we go. I'm just gonna continue this straight for a little bit. Now let's plan this out a little bit while we're still lacking money right now. We can already put down the road system. So again, this is where the high school is gonna go, and that means we're gonna place a road. I think it was technically down here, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of extra space that we can utilize for landscaping. Just gonna put it right there. We will need to remove this road though. So if we're gonna have a look, high school will fit there. There's a one gap at the end, which I think is fine. And then we can place the corresponding elementary school over on this corner. Again, just facing the front, having the front facing the high school area. Later on, we might put another few parks around here, but you know, that is a little bit more future worries. And I am just gonna, I guess I could wait a little bit just to see how long it will take to basically end up with the money, but ultimately that is a little bit boring. We need 100,000 for the elementary school and 300,000 for the high school. Now with fluctuating income, to say the least, that might take a while. Let's actually have a look right here. There's a bit of traffic going on there. It is a street light, which kind of makes sense. Why is everyone driving up this way? Oh, interesting. Now with that shortcut in there, people are actually preferring this tiny road for traffic. Now, I would like to stop that, but do I know how to stop that? In City Skylines 2? I don't think so. I think what we kind of just need to do is shortcut this one, because I think it's this extra loop that is causing the issue. Unless I tell them here, you know what, I'm gonna do that. No right turn. Oh, and I just noticed that we have a bit of flooding going on. So quickly pausing this, deleting this part of the road, and just leveling it out. And then, because we've just replaced the road, we need to say again, no right turn here. I want you guys to go straight, because you're just causing a ton of traffic. Traffic jams, basically, because this road is not designed for the capacity. And I could technically say this one can only turn right, so we're preventing the other direction from happening. If I'm doing this entire strip technically, no, it's not one way. Oh. No, I want everyone to only turn right. So here we go. Did I just say don't go anywhere? Right. Maybe this did the trick. Again, we don't want that traffic down here, and I don't see this being the major road if this one is available. While it is a longer distance, the drive should be so much more enjoyable than going down this tiny alleyway. Alright, there is also a traffic crash back here. Not entirely sure why. Also don't know why they are parking over here. Let's have a quick look to continue for... You're just parking here? Okay. Overall, I think our farm is doing pretty well, so that is nice. Lori's lentils, appreciate it. Now this will take, I think, a little while before it has sorted itself out. Just again, making sure, yep, they're only supposed to go straight. And you guys are only supposed to go right. I don't think it will actually show me. So let's hope that is actually accurate. All right. So with that, well, I wasted a little bit of time, so to speak, but we didn't make much of a profit in that time. So I'm just gonna let the game simulate a little bit before we're gonna continue. Looking at our harbor area right there. Just like that. Like I said, I'm gonna... Oh, we're actually losing money. That might be due to the traffic jams, to be honest. Alright, let's have a quick look around. Why is there a traffic jam here? There's only one lane that goes to the right. So what I think we're going to do is use some asymmetric road in this corner. Oh, no, real way. One way, here we go. Now we have 2 lanes going to the right and technically 2 lanes going to the left. But I think ultimately it will help a little bit. Let's follow this through. Everyone is still turning left here. Makes me wonder. You know what? Bye. Alright. Now everyone is stuck here. They will turn around in a little bit. There we go. Let's make sure everyone else has turned around. I think so. So now let me connect this back in. I am going to pause for a second, just to be on the safe side. Connect this in at an approximately right angle. And then again, trying to make sure no left turn. I wish there was an arrow there. Oh. And again, to make sure no right turn. And no left turn. Alright, I think they are all ignoring me. Might be a pathfinding issue for now. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be working. Alright. Let me go ahead and just upgrade that. remove the end bit. Having that connection in there. And now let's try this again. Now that we can actually see where the lanes are pointing, hopefully it will work out for us. Let's try to zone back in our... Yeah, we are not able to do so. There we go. Zoning is back. A little bit wonky, but I think it will be okay. Are you guys just turning right to do U-turn? Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Can't I say no U-turn? I cannot. So let's keep an eye on this. They're still all going this way. So this didn't help us. So I guess a bit more extreme in that case. Let's do a one-way road in this direction, but a one-way alley. Still making sure. I'm gonna set this to no right turn. And with that, I have fully destroyed the zoning over here. But I will take it. But a 2 are here, a 2 are there. A little bit more spread out. Why have you lost your zoning? Ah. There we go. Zoning is back for you. Don't like that connection you guys have made here. Well, you guys, I have. Alright. Let's slope this a little bit in the hope that this will solve all my problems. Alright, here we go. Hopefully that will solve those issues. And you have lost your zoning again. Oh man. Sometimes City Skylines 2 is very annoying. Alright, here we go. And hopefully that will solve this traffic issue, which will hopefully solve this traffic issue. And that hopefully solves all the other traffic issues as well. We have actually made a good amount of money. Now we can already, and will do so, place the elementary school. Because ultimately it will benefit our people. Student capacity of 1,000. Perfect. Here we go. Looking nice over there, in all honesty. So that should fill up relatively quickly, 160 already. And hopefully take out some of the load of this elementary school right here. Perfect. Alright, now we are losing a ton of money again. Just from one elementary school, really? It is kind of balancing out, I think. So I'm gonna let it simulate for a little bit and we'll be right back. interlude. I just saw someone saying we should pay back that loan that we have. And I absolutely agree. So let's start doing that for a little bit. All right, we had it simulate for a while. The one thing that I noticed, our income is fluctuating quite a bit, which might be due to some of... Oh, you guys still driving this way. Don't tell me you're doing a U-turn too. How can I prevent the U-turn here? Seriously. Bye. Alright, I think this entire area just not happening anymore. We're going to remove all of you. Why did you lose? Ah, I don't know what happened here. So let's go into zoning, remove that zoning, go into our terrain tools, much larger, a little bit of a lower strength, and then we're just gonna smooth this back out as if nothing ever happened over here. All right. That also means we can put a little bit more industry down here. This could actually be a little bit larger. There we go. And with that, we have finally solved this problem, which hopefully will prevent traffic jams a little bit better. All right, regardless, things are, you know, slowly moving, but just slowly. So we're gonna leave it at that. And with a bus tour, we're gonna end this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Well, maybe not you. We're gonna follow you. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.